we have the Mutron Bi-Phase. Here's the clean sound. It's just a jazzmaster into a hiwatt. Alright, so basically you have a phaser A and phaser B. I'll show you phaser A first. I believe this is similar to like the phase 3 or whatever the regular Mutron phase is. So basically there's depth and feedback, and then the sweep can either be controlled by generator 1 or by the pedal, by the expression pedal. So maybe I'll show you that first. So here's the kind of works like a wah-wah pedal, but with phase. So I'm sweeping this with my foot on the expression pedal. So that's with the sweep being controlled by the pedal. If we have the sweep controlled by the sweep generator 1, now we have a rate of the LFO. You can either have the LFO controlled manually, so wherever you set this knob, or you can have it also controlled by the pedal, where the sweep of the pedal basically sweeps it from slow to a fast LFO, and you can have either a sine wave or a square wave. So if we just go to manual, here's the slowest sweep. That's a pretty slow phase. Now you can kind of tell where it is. This is the fastest that it goes. So not quite ring modish, but pretty close. So now here's what it sounds like with square wave. And like I say, you can use the pedal to control the sweep, so you can do kind of cool ramp up, ramp down in terms of the speed of the LFO. Phaser 2, or the phaser B, excuse me, is essentially the same, only, here's where you can do the cool stereo phasing. I don't have mine set up for stereo phasing right now, but if you did, the coolest way to set that up is, the input now for phaser B is either, the way it was set before is the output of A, so it's in series, so it's going from A into B. If you set it as input A is the input for B, it basically is taking the input here and splitting it here and in here, and it's in parallel. I don't have the amp set up, and with the iPhone you wouldn't even be able to hear the cool stereo panning effects you get, but it really pans kind of the two phases play off of each other, so it's pretty cool. But I will show you now, I guess these are some of the cards that came with it, so maybe I'll show you what those sound like. So this is called 2-speed phasing. So I'll try and set it up more or less the way they have it set on this card. So here's what this sounds like. Then you can play around with it. Here's a little more extreme settings on this. Change it to a sine wave instead of a square wave. Slow the sweep down on this a little bit. So now, super phasing setting. So that's with both of them together, using different sweep generators. Now if we have the generator 1 controlling both A and B, you get basically this sound. So let me just try and get these settings here. So now the sweep generator 2 isn't even in this. So this is how this sounds. Phaser A by itself. Here's both of them together using the same LFO. If you switch the polarity, I guess. So that's that, and I suppose I always get grief because I never show what anything sounds like with fuzz pedal. So here's the here's the dry fuzz sound. guess the one thing I probably didn't cover is the feedback and the depth. So if here's the that's basically the deepest it'll sound. You can leave the feedback up and dial the depth back. Then if you roll off the feedback, so that gives you an idea of the sweep there. So that's the biphase.